What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to the game department. Now today we are back for another round of the Bathurst challenge. Massive shout out to Rafal for this suggestion. This is the 2015 Honda NSX. I have no experience with this car. I've literally just downloaded it this morning, so we'll see how she goes. So here we are in Assetto Corsa with the Honda NSX, and it looks freaking incredible. Now, I've never driven this car, as I said before. I have no idea how fast it is or how it handles. I have absolutely no idea. So I think we'll do our outlap, see how it is going to behave roughly in some of the areas of the track, and then I think we jump straight into our 10 hot laps and see what sort of speed we can get out of this car. Alrighty, here we go. Let's just jump straight into it and see how this car's going to go. Already, you can tell it's got such speed. Oh my god. Alright, we're going to have to brake early, maybe? Brake early, go down a second. We'll take it into this first turn here. Holds pretty well. Now I've got factory ABS and factory traction control on for this car, like we do with every car, so we'll see how quickly it stops here. Pretty well. Oh, lost traction. Oh gosh, save it. Oh my god, okay. This is going to be a hard one to keep control of if it's going to lose it in that very first turn there. Let's get as much speed as we can, see how fast we can make it on this first straight before we go up the start of the mountain. We're in 6th gear, 185 kilometers an hour underneath the Assetto Corsa. 200 Ks, 200 kilometers an hour. 7th gear. Oh my god. All right, start slowing down. We go to 4th. Chuck it into this corner. Oh, the 3rd. Oh no. Oh god. Okay. Oh my god. So it turns out this car is a hell of a lot faster than I originally thought. So what I think we're going to do is jump straight into our 10 laps. I'm probably going to need 4 or 5 laps to sort of wrap my head around how this car's going to drive. And then I'll see if I can set a time. The fastest time I get, we'll come back with, same as always, and just see how we go. Alrighty, here we go. Hot lap in the Honda NSX. This was a tough one, but a super fun one. So we're going to go straight over the start-finish line now to start our fastest lap. Already almost at 200 kilometers an hour before we go into the first turn. Slowing down into 3rd gear to try and get around this corner without losing any traction. The hardest part of driving this car was trying to take off smoothly without letting the rear kick out completely and throw us straight into a wall. So we're already up to 6th gear before we hit the Assetto Corsa sign, 220 kilometers an hour. 7th gear, this thing is so much speed behind it, it is absolutely terrifying. 8th gear, 265 kilometers an hour before the first turn up this hill here. We're going up the mountain, trying to hold the camber to the right-hand side near the curb, because if you don't, you're going straight into that left wall like we have with many other cars. This one just doesn't seem to have as much aero as everything else. Going down into 4th gear, then dropping down into 3rd, and maybe even 2nd to get up this mountain here, all the way up the cutting to the left-hand side. In 3rd gear, trying to power out into 4th, trying to keep as much traction as we can in those tyres, because it disappears so quickly. 4th gear, trying to hold right to get up the top of the mountain here to do the top section before we start going down into the S's and to the dipper. Down to 4th gear now, we're going to try and hold right as hard as we can to maintain as much speed now going through the top of the mountain before we start descending and really pushing this car to its absolute limits through the bottom section. Holding it as hard as we can to the left-hand side here before we go straight down the S's and the dipper. 5th gear, 6th gear, 200 kilometers an hour before we start braking. Holding it to the right, trying to keep the car as straight as we absolutely can. 4th gear, holding it down to the right and the left, dropping down into 3rd. Oh, trying to keep as much traction on this car as we can. 4th gear, starting to power out, already 160 kilometers an hour before we go down into Forest Elbow. Trying to keep it as straight and planted as we absolutely can. 2nd gear now into Forest Elbow, holding that left and really powering out to that right-hand Falcon sign. 4th gear, 5th gear, already hitting 6th gear, 200 kilometers an hour before the Bentley. Now we're going to twitch over, have a bit of a look at what this car looks like on the road. Obviously we went with red because red makes the car go faster. Already, look at the speed this thing has. Absolute weapon of a vehicle. Speed trap at 300 kilometers an hour. An absolute machine of a vehicle. Starting to slow down now in the chase to try and keep it on that road. Left and then holding it to the right before we start powering up to 4th. Really trying to follow the line as best as we can underneath the Liquid Moly sign at 6th gear. Just hitting 200 kilometers an hour before we start slowing down for the final turn of the Bathurst challenge. Down into 3rd, holding it to that curb left and powering it out to the other side as hard as we can. 4th gear, pushing it through. 2 minutes 30.489. Not a bad bloody lap. So there you go, that is our fastest lap in the 2015 Honda NSX. That was a difficult lap. I swear to God, 8 of those 10 It resulted in off tracks. I genuinely could not keep the car on the road. I had to drive it lower than what I thought I could because there was just no traction. I've realized now that cars that have this much power, that just don't have any aerodynamics to help them in the corners, really suffer at Bathurst. I feel like if this had more dedicated downforce for the cornering parts of the track, this would have been a much faster lap. But it still sits at a 230.4, which is not that bad of a lap. It puts us just higher than the BMW M5 E60, but it does not beat the V8 supercar. The supercar beats this because we have to slow this car down so much for the corners. The supercar reigns supreme. So looking at the leaderboard, we're going to drop down that BMW by 1 and then put this Honda NSX into P3 because it's a very well-deserved lap. I really struggled with this one. This was hard as hell. If you guys want to take this car around this track, I will leave both the mods in the description. Please let me know what your laps are and let me know how far off I was with my lap. If you have a suggestion for a car that you want to see do the Bathurst challenge, leave me a comment below. If I can find a mod for it, we'll do it. If you like this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. It helps the channel out a bunch. Also subscribe. I post videos every week and you don't want to miss them. If you want to come and check out our streams, we stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 4:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/The Game Department. You don't want to miss it. If you want to check out any of our social media, I will leave all the links in the description below. We have a great community of people. You should definitely be a part of it. Other than that, I'm going to leave you guys to it. I hope you had a good morning. I hope you have a good night. Bye.